What up, Rick?
It's all good. It's all good.
Legendary, the icon, culture icon. I want to thank you first of all for coming on the platform. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor. You know what I'm saying? When I think of Federal Nightmarez, you pretty much like was a poster.
Been
like,
there. Still happening.
Yeah, real talk.
Still experiencing them right now.
Exactly. And that was my whole purpose of starting the platform, was to, express the mental health aspect of, what people went through. So I want to start by...
I went through, going through.
Still going through to this day.
Yeah.
So,
don't just go away. And thank Echo, because he made sure that you got this one done.
Exactly.
It ain't easy no more. It really done got really tough for me to do the things that, sometimes I'd like to do for people, but, I try, but it's getting hard. It's really getting hard to be everywhere, to everybody all the time. It's getting there. But Echo pushed this one through. He made sure that you got yours in. So
appreciate that, bro. But yeah, you started out when you grew up. You came from what? You come from Texas?
Yeah. I was born in Texas.
Okay. How old was you when you came from Texas?
I'm about 3 years old.
About 3. Okay, so you was pretty much born and raised in California.
I'm South Central all the way.
Okay.
Know very little about Texas,
Mm-hmm.
except that I love Houston and I love Dallas. Hey, man, they off the chain. Houston off the change.
Yeah, Houston off the chain.
Yeah.
What?
I was just telling one of my boys here, because I love Cleveland too, right? And I hate to come here because I know I ain't going to want to leave, You go somewhere you don't want to leave, you be like, damn, man, I wish I could stay. But yeah, I'm from Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I did a lot of research on you, and I read, first when they, everybody know the story pretty much. But first when you got incarcerated, you taught yourself how to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that there had to be a lot of will in you, a lot of drive to want, make you want to do that. What you
I was up against the wall.
Right.
It's like you put something under pressure, something got to give. So either I was gonna collapse, and go down all the way down to the way some people do when they go to jail. Taking pills, messing with homosexuals. Just all kinds of stuff. Either you're gonna do that or you're gonna get stronger. And I chose to become stronger and more vibrant.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. I see you got the books booming. I see you just moved about 300 of them. And then real quick, real fast.
Well, what I learned about the book, my book in particular, if I'm in a room of hustlers, the book go. But if I go in a room with pretty much lame people, people who don't think and who are not really trying to get money, they just, want to be on welfare or get food stamps or get into cheese line, they don't want to read the book. They don't want to know nothing about the book, and they lost,
mm-hmm.
in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because I believe that the people who are out here trying to educate themselves to get smarter, who looking for new avenues, who trying to make whatever situation they have work for them, those are the people, who got all the sense. That's just my personal opinion, because I'm one of those. So, they say birds of a feather flock together. And I find myself gravitating to those kind of people. And this was that kind of event.
Yeah.
What I tell them, look, your drip ain't official if it ain't federal. It ain't what? It ain't official.
Okay, since we're talking about the book actually, you sold to John Singleton.
I didn't sell the book point. I sold him a book.
Okay.
Just like I did to everybody that I sold a book in here, I sold them a book. Well, a guy gave me $100 a night for one book.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing John Singleton did.
Mm.
And John's book was more of a collector's item because it was a demo, so they only gave me 10. It was the first 10 books. And He just bought a copy. He didn't buy the rights or nothing like that. You know, I wouldn't sell my rights. You know, I believe in ownership. You know, in even though people hear me talk about money all the time, I'm not a person that just, I don't love money. I like to make it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll tell you, with all the millions I made in my life, I probably spent on myself maybe 100,000. For me personally, not saying a business or something like that. Because when you buy a business, that's not personally for you. That's to make more money. You know, that's an investment. I consider that an investment. And I done invested millions, and I done lost millions.
Right.
But scared money don't make no money. You know, if you don't take chances, if you don't stick your neck out, you ain't gonna never get nothing.
Okay. So, you know, everybody know about the name, the rapper Rick Ross. You know, I mean, I feel like that was wrong how that whole situation went down, because a real man is gonna handle his business if that situation never approached him, you know, the way it did with you. Because everybody know who, you know, he living your name. How you feel about him not, you know what I'm saying, wanting to, you know, handle his business?
Well, you know what? This dude is not from where we from. You know, he didn't grow up in the streets. He come from a wealthy background. You know, his family had a little money. He had credit cards in high school, so that let you know right there that they was a little better. That's why he was a correctional officer. You know, dude from the street. Last thing you want to think about is being a correctional officer. Man, you got the homies locked up. You the one supervising the homies, keeping the homies, and taking their soups and their stamps, and won't let them get no pussy in the visiting room and all that. You know,
yeah.
You know all that go with the. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And anybody ever been there, they know what that all details. You handcuff them and beat them down. You know, when the warden tell you to. You know, a lot of that go with that. So he don't understand. So, you know, Jesus Christ said, forgive them for not they know. Yeah. So when somebody don't know, you know, you gotta. Yeah. You know,
your name is more powerful to, you know, the most important people. So that's how I look at it. But
well, you know, when you run a race, first 10 yards ain't it when you're running a 100-yard dash. First 20, first 30, first 40, first 50, you know, in the first 99, that's not the most important yard. The most important yard is crossing that 110-yard line first, you know, so this race got a long way to go, you know. I'm in the gym right now exercising, getting ready, you know. And I feel I got a few more years left in me. You know, I'm having a lot of fun. I ain't ready to go nowhere. So we're going to see what's going to happen in the end, you know. Who's going to dominate the name? You know, he got Universal Music Group behind him, and Def Jam and all these other people. You know, but it's all good. I like fighting Goliaths.
Yeah.
You know, Lil Samson had to take Goliath down. And now, you know, we need to take the system down.
That's it. That's how I feel too, man. Yeah, for real. We all united.
Matter of fact, I was doing a phone call the other day with some brothers in prison, and they give me the credit for it. They're getting ready to redo their prison and make it a learning institution. The inmates and the warden, everybody agreed. They want me to be the first keynote speaker at this new thing that they finna jump off. It's gonna be crazy. Something I always thought about,
yeah.
And I never brought it to nobody's attention, you know, because I was never in position. But these brothers from prison put it together and brought me in.
Oh, that can change and help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
For real. Yeah, and I know you start one, you gonna get 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you gonna come with a movie?
We in pre-production right now.
Okay.
We already got the director, which is what the producers wanted most. They thought the director was a tough job, and now we trying to get Childish Gambino, who is the hardest man in the world to get in contact with.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep shooting at you, child. Get at me, man. Stop playing.
Yeah, but yeah,
Let's make history.
Yeah, we waiting on them because I feel like the culture really need it. When I say they really need it, they need the real. They need to hear the real story.
Oh, for sure. But that's why, the system is the way it is. It's so controlling over the material that they put out. Ain't many blacks got no power really in Hollywood, to do anything. So it goes back to them to decide whose movie gonna come out, whose movie ain't gonna come out. I hope y'all don't mind putting my money up. I don't want to lose it.
You think it's better to do a series?
Well, what I want to do is the movie first. I want to go to the box office, go to the movie theaters, and then after that do so well, then come back and do the movie. I mean the TV series. I'm sorry. My mind's somewhere else. I'm running.
We was talking something about in the car when we was riding from the airport. We had said something about, they pay federal agents $200,000 a year to, bus people. You said you knew somebody that made like $5 million.
Oh, Andrew Chambers.
Yeah.
From St. Louis. Bad boy. When they talk about bad boys, and he called me. I did VLAD, and I was telling VLAD about him because VLAD and them didn't know either. And I was like, yeah, Andrew Chambers, he busted a couple of my guys, and my guys was telling, we be in jail, we talking about how we got busted and laughing at each other. Damn motherfucker, you didn't know that was the police. You didn't know that was a setup. So, and he telling me about how this country boy come up there driving a convertible van and got this bad broad with him draped up and he the police. All the time, and talking that country slang, when you California, you hear a boy talking that country slang. Oh, Vic.
Yeah.
Got me one. I got me one. I'm going to overcharge him. Cut him. You know what I'm saying? It's my meal ticket. And it happened to be he was the police. He made $5 million. Lied on the witness stand, everything. So. Yeah. They doing it like that. So be very careful. Be very careful, because informants is one of their main weapons for DEA.
What makes Federal Nightmarez so unique and important is your story. We need to hear your stories on Federal Nightmarez. There's no excuses now. I'm in your face, and I'm mobile with it. So tap in to federalnightmare.com and reach out if you want to be a guest. I'll pull up on you.
So I actually heard that you could have got Dre Pooh Band. You had Pooh, Dre's brother, the guy that wrote Friday. I'm sorry.
Oh, DJ Pooh.
DJ Pooh.
Yeah. DJ Pooh. Yeah.
They wanted you to invest in them first, and you went with Anita Baker.
Yeah, long time ago. That was. Yeah. I should have did that. DJ Pooh and King T.
Yeah.
King T, both of them, was telling me to get into the rap. Shoot, 80s, early 80s. And I got into it, but you talking about, you got guys like Dick Griffey. You know who Dick Griffey is?
Yeah.
Berry Gordy, Otis Smith in your ear talking about the music business. You go in their offices, they got platinum and gold records, The Deal, Babyface, Midnight Star, Bobby Womack, Johnny Taylor. You know, they got these kind of records hanging on their wall in their office. So who you gonna believe? This 17-year-old kid who talking about hip hop, or these vets, you know, who driving convertible Rolls Royces, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I made the wise choice. Go with the men who I thought was wise, and not understanding that there was a future too. You know, there's a past and a future. Now, what I should have done was brought the two worlds together, and if I would have done that, I would have been, who knows, you know, maybe. I probably would be Jeff Bezos right now.
Right.
But that little mistake cost me a lot, you know, because Otis and was already, they was the first independent distributors of music. And they all learned from Barry. You know, they all out of Barry Gordy's camp. Everybody come from Motown. These guys was at Motown and branched off, started their own labels. But they were distributing music independently. And had I really followed their instructions, because they asked me to quit selling drugs. They all was like, man, you need to quit selling drugs. If you quit selling drugs, well, I'm like, quit selling drugs, where you motherfuckers gonna get the money from? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get money from me. Yeah. So, I couldn't see myself quitting.
To catch up on all the old Federal Nightmare episodes, tap in to federalnightmare.com. Also go to Federal Nightmare Podcast 5011 on YouTube. Tap in.
So, I'm gonna see if I'm ready to plug, and I'm gonna see if I can take over this boxing. Be the man to go to in boxing. And that's what I'm working on right now. Well, one of the things I'm working on, you know, I'm working on the weed business too. I want to conquer the weed business. And what else? A couple other little things. Those are the main things right now.
Hey, man, I can't lie, man. I've been with you all day, and I've been smoking the best. Yeah, I've been.
That's all we smoke.
Yeah, so shit, man.
Not me, I don't smoke. Yeah, Echo and them.
Yeah, we can.
Echo roll up.
We've been blowing it down. Echo roll up, man.
And you know, I got my new filters too.
Mm-hmm.
Got the filters, you know, coming. You ain't tried my filters, you missing out if you're smoking weed without smoking with the freeway filters.
Hey, Federal Nightmarez, Freeway Rick Ross. You see what it is, the real one, not the fake one, man. Yeah, we stamp, baby.
Boop, 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 boop.